Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue.
Flex. Buckle up and join the best. Let's see, relieve your stress. So yes, let the music soothe your soul and keep it going just to refresh. Buckle and enjoy the ride from 2 to the half of the 5. Mondays to Fridays happening live. Where we gon' have a ball, you can text your guys. Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. Are you ready for the Traffic Avenue? Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. An applause for the Traffic Avenue.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, Traffic Avenue, oh yeah. Welcome to the Traffic Avenue.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you.
City 97.3. More variety. City 97.3. Accra.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
It's 17:30 GMT. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Umaru Sanda Amadou. Tonight I'm here with
Akosia Oche.
And coming up over the next 90 minutes.
What my technician tells me is a network problem or technical problem. Per their platform, nobody has been able to print any card yet.
Day one of the Electoral Commission's voter registration exercise fraught with technical challenges, with reports of delays in issuing cards, among other complaints. Also coming up, Economic and Organized Crimes Office, EOCO, defends the decision to return former Sanitation Minister Cecilia Abinadapa's docket to the OSP, which has generated a public spat between the two institutions. And later, on Eyewitness News,
Onipa, miba mi betu no wakonya no so no. A bibia me ya no so enya no fe. Need to meet Jambachi and Mobisa.
That's President Akufo-Addo asking Ghanaians not to give the presidency to the man he removed, John Dramani Mahama, saying John Mahama would detail for more on this and many other stories on Eyewitness News. And in business,
Bank of Ghana dismisses reports of introducing 1% cybersecurity levy on banking transactions.
That's in 50 minutes from the City Business Desk. Eyewitness News is live across Ghana on a host of affiliate stations. If you go to the Western region, we are on Premier 100.5 FM and Beach 105.5 FM. Both of them are in Takrady, as well as Sky Power 93.5 FM, also in Takrady. We are in the Bono region on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani. We are in the Ahafo region on Hammers 106.5 FM in Goso. We are also in the Ashanti region on Alpha Radio 104.9 FM in Kumasi. We are also on Orange 107.9 FM, also in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we are on Global 105.1 FM in Ho. We are on Adanu 107.7 FM in Adakluwaya. We are in the northern region on Diamond 93.7 FM in Tamale. We are in the upper west region on Westlink 88.1 FM in Laura. In the upper east region, we are on Source 100.1 FM in Boko. We are in the northeast region on Scarp 101.3 FM in Nakpanduri. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook. We are also on X, now formerly known as Twitter, where you can listen exactly.
To prosecute Officer Iyoko has exhibited a lack of interest in probing the money laundering charges leveled against former Sanitation Minister Cecilia Dapa.
Indeed. So the Iyoko issued a statement this evening. We'll be sharing that with you in a bit. But let's hear from Samit Dakun. He's director. What's his title?
He's the Director of Strategy, Research and Communications at the Office of the Special Prosecutor.
So he spoke to Bernard Avle on the City Breakfast Show. Let's listen to him respond to that statement that was made by the Iyoko boss yesterday before we tell you what Iyoko has said in this statement that he just issued.
First of all, I think that what has happened is very clear, and I'm happy that at least you've given a background to it. Let me start with what Iyoko said yesterday, that they are going to return the docket to the OSP. That is even not accurate. They've long returned the docket to OSP. And they returned the docket to OSP with an explanation that they've been advised by the AG not to investigate. Remember, we didn't say to prosecute, not to investigate. So the docket has already been brought to OSP. So I don't understand why Iyoko will say they are now going to bring the docket back to OSP. That's the first point I want to make.
Wonderful.
Then the second point.
Go ahead.
The second point I want to make was baseless. If you indulge me, I'm going to be a bit detailed, although we are not supposed to do this, but our point is that if there's no appetite to want to investigate or prosecute, tell the people of Ghana there's no appetite. But don't try to put a blame on the OSP. What the OSP did was to have given you all the tools that you need to be able to fish. What they are saying now seems or suggests to us is like saying that we should have added the fish. Now, the docket that OSP sent to Iyoko, these are the details. It's a docket. When we say a docket, I'll break it down so that everybody understands what a docket means. A docket is simply a file that contains lots of documents. So what were the documents that we sent to Iyoko? Now, before I come to this one, I also do the first one, which is the AG saying that we had cleared Cecilia Dapa of any offense. That is also not accurate because OSP has never cleared Cecilia Dapa. When you say you have cleared someone, it means that you've investigated and come to a conclusion that no offense has been committed. So, for instance, there was a case against the Honorable Atachia where we investigated and realized that there was no case. So OSP even has a track record that after its investigation, it will tell Ghanaians what it found. And we've done so in many other cases. If you check the former Minister of State at the Finance, Charles Dubois, we came out to say what we thought of it. If you check the wealthy businessman who attempted to allegedly bribe the MPs, we came out to say where we got to and why we couldn't continue because MPs refused to cooperate with us and serve as a witness for us to go to court. In this matter, what we said was that as we were investigating her for corruption, it appeared to us from every evidence we were seeing that it fell largely in the province of money laundering, and that a money laundering investigation would be most appropriate to be able to come to a conclusion of the matter and not corruption. And so we stopped and then transferred the case to the institution that has been mandated by law to investigate money laundering. Now, the docket we sent to you had 20 statements, caution statements from witnesses in America and in Ghana. Now, the docket also went with a cover letter explaining why we are of the opinion that they should be looking out for money laundering, including a reduction of some of the findings from the FBI. Now, this docket contains statements, for instance, I'll give a classical example. Madame Dapa and the husband, when they were being interrogated by the OSP, said that part of the money that we retrieved from her residence was brought to them from the United States of America. So we had to pursue the money. Now, we pursued the money and discovered who it was in the United States of America. We did a conference interrogation with that person and then Ms. Dapa and the husband. Now, from the interrogation, the woman in question in abroad did say that it is not true that the monies that they are claiming that was from America is actually from her. Secondly, she also said that there was disagreement between them as to how many times she has brought them money and how much money she brought to them. Whilst they said A, she said B. And thirdly, the lady was also queried as to whether she had declared the money she allegedly brought to them when she was entering Ghana and when she was leaving the United States. With the force of threat to report her to the FBI and arrest, she confessed that no, she did not declare. So, this that I've narrated to you is part of the docket that went to Iyoko. All this I'm saying to you, they are on the file. Now, let's begin with something small before you come in. If anybody is minded to find a predicate offense that they've been bundling around, from what I've just narrated to you, you can find a predicate offense to trigger Section 1.3 of the Anti-Money Laundering Act. Do you know why we keep saying Section 1.3 of the Anti-Money Laundering Act? Because if you go into the Constitution of Ghana, I think Article 284 or so, it actually talks about unexplained wealth, that if a politician's asset surpasses their lawful income, then they ought to explain. However, when they were passing the OSP law, the lawmaker took out the provision on unexplained wealth order. What it means is that if OSP is investigating you for corruption, the burden at all points is on the OSP to prove how you corrupted yourself, instead of the popular ones that exist in Kenya, that exist in Sierra Leone, that exist even in Nigeria. So what happens is that all that we as investigators and prosecutors need to do is to be able to demonstrate to the court that we have checked your lawful income. And even if you had worked for 20 years, you couldn't have acquired the assets that you have acquired. The burden then now shifts to you, the accused, to explain to us or the court how you acquired those wealth. That provision was taken out of the OSP Act. But Ghana is not without a remedy. That same provision we need under the OSP Act, what has been put also under the Anti-Money Laundering Act, which is the Section 1.3 of the Anti-Money Laundering Act, where if you are investigating a suspect for money laundering, you then will be able to also confiscate any asset which is not proportionate to their lawful income. So when they say that there is no predicate offense, I've just given you one example of that. The other example, which is on the docket, is that Madame Dapa and the husband and everybody claimed that part of the money or the money was from the deceased brother. Now, OSP went to a great length of establishing that that cannot be true. And what did we do? We even went to the factory that Mrs. Dapa said was owned by deceased brother. And we were able to show, including pictures and everything, that the factory has not been operational. And even if it was operational, it couldn't generate the money she claimed the deceased brother had. Now, all these things are well documented and on the file. And the point we made was that we, as OSP, do not have the power to investigate money laundering. So you, as Iyoko, please take it up and then do your investigation and then see what you can do. We didn't tell Iyoko that when we bring our docket to you, forward our docket to the Attorney General for the Attorney General to give his advice on our docket. That should be your investigation going to the Attorney General, because we don't report to the Attorney General. OSP does not report to the Attorney General. But Iyoko and police, they go to Attorney General for advice. So the two of us are not the same. When we investigate and we find probable cause, we are powered by law to do our prosecution on our own.
So that's Sami Dako. He is Director of Strategy Communications at the Office of Special Prosecutor. He was speaking on the City Breakfast. The possibility of expediting the release of the report. This discussion was done in the presence of the Deputy Special Prosecutor, Ms. Cynthia Lamte. Mr. Basintale assured that as soon as he received clearance from the SP, the report would be released to IOCO to assist in investigations. To date, IOCO has not received any information from the OSP. IOCO deems it pertinent to indicate that it is aware of a presentations to IOCO 25th January 2024, in which the OSP stated that after nearly 7 months of extensive investigations by the OSP and a parallel inquiry by the Federal Bureau of Investigations FBI of the United States, no direct and immediate evidence of corruption has been found in the seized funds and frozen bank accounts linked to Ms. Dapa and her associates. IOCO further noted that the OSP had in its letter referring the docket to IOCO stated that in October 2023, the investigation became transboundary with the involvement of the Federal Bureau of Investigations were alleged to have been transported into the jurisdiction from the United States. After 7 months of extensive investigation to the referred case, best regards, signed Abdullahi Bashiru Dapila, Deputy Executive Director in charge of operations for the Executive Director. That letter was delivered to the Office of Special Prosecutor and received by one Solomon Tete, and the investigation or the information has been shared here with us from the IOCO. So what IOCO is essentially saying is that we sent the OSP a request for more information, which information has never come, and it is for that reason that we've returned the information to you. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. There's more on this particular subject, isn't there, Akosia? And we'll be trying to get some more interviews on this.
An organized crime office, IOCO, fearing that it could hinder investigations, or the OSP accused the IOCO of lacking interest in pursuing the case involving former Sanitation Minister Cecilia Dapa, while IOCO in turn accused the OSP of not cooperating. Speaking on the City Breakfast Show, Executive Director of the Ghana Integrity Initiative, Mary Ada, questioned why the OSP has failed to hand over some aspects of the investigations.
It's interesting the way our institutions are using the law and the policies within their remits to stifle investigations. It's really, really sad. I say it's sad because the OSP went to IOCO as a whistleblower. If I take that, I haven't listened to Sami, so I'm not too sure about that. But if the OSP went to IOCO as a whistleblower, then the intention is that they would have given some semblance of information to IOCO to work with. And IOCO would have started an investigation based on the whistleblower's concerns. That's what the law says, and it's plain. So it's interesting that IOCO decided to go in for the advice of the Attorney General based on the information they had received. We have said consistently that we believe that IOCO could have done more. Per the Money Laundering Act, yes, you can do a lifestyle audit, and that lifestyle audit would be premised on some of the issues that Sami mentioned, the inconsistencies of information received. We also have the issues of tax, then the issues around the business transactions and the persons who businesses had been registered to, and yet monies were being paid into a certain source. That alone is suspicion enough for me. The ordinary Ghanaian who is not a lawyer, that if somebody has registered a business monies that accrue to that business should go to them. And so if there is aid consistently, then I believe, Bernard, from our ordinary perspectives and reasoning, we believe that that should have triggered a lifestyle audit of sorts.
That was voice of Executive Director of the Ghana Integrity Initiative, Mary Ada.
Let's go back on the phone line and speak to Samuel Apia Dako. The IOCO describes him as someone Samuel Apia Dako, described as Director of Strategy, Research and Communications at the OSP. Indeed, that's the official title that we have of him from the OSP. Sami, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much, Sandra.
The Economic and Organized Crime Office has issued a statement. They say that they asked you for information as way back as February, which information is on the transboundary investigations that you did. You have failed or refused to give them that information, and that is why they had difficulties proceeding. And they've even given evidence of the meetings that were had between their officer and your deputy SP, among a number of other correspondence that they've shared with us. What is happening?
Yes, Sandra, I'm aware of it. First of all, it's most unfortunate that a whole institution which we deal with could describe another officer as one Samuel Apia Dako. It's most unfortunate. But we will let that slide. Now, I'm aware of what IOCO has given you and all that. Now, go to the letter that you just read to the public. I need you to go back to the statement of the AG, and then the statement that was made by the head of Economic and Organized Crime yesterday. Let's distill it just one after the other. Yesterday, Citi News, she granted an interview to Citi News or to journalists and said that she was going to hand over the docket to OSP. We told you that she had long returned the docket to OSP as of last week somewhere. And yet, she granted an interview and said she was going to give the docket to OSP, which means that she had not given to the OSP. She's now going to give to the OSP. I have been able to show that that is inaccurate, that she had long returned the docket and said that on the advice of the AG, we are not going into it. Secondly, if you go to the Attorney General's statement and what they had said, they said that they had requested for investigative report. Investigative report is not the same as requesting for the findings of the FBI. Now, I can understand the situation they are in, and I can understand the desperation to want to turn this on the OSP. But I will repeat. So, you just read the letter they gave you to the OSP, the same letter which we
and the letter said actually that they sent you the docket on 3rd May.
The time don't matter.
No, I'm just talking about just one issue, because you talked about what she said yesterday about returning the docket. I'm saying that the official statement here says the docket was returned to you on 3rd May 2024.
Of course, it now has to correspond with what we have. But what she said yesterday was inaccurate. Pure inaccurate.
Okay. So you made that.
I seem to suggest that the docket is now going to be sent back to the US. Now, let me go back to the letter they gave you, and they've given other media houses with the hope that this will turn around. I don't even know what is going on. But in that letter, they are requesting for investigative report. What do they mean by that? Investigative report means that you are requesting for OSP corruption investigative report. IOCO does not have the jurisdiction to investigate corruption. This attempt to want to shift it to some investigative report that we should have given to them. And as you are aware, OSP always publishes its investigative report. I can count from day one, the special prosecutor took over. The customs investigation, it was published. Wealthy businessman, it was published. How do you call it? Dubois, it was published. Almost all the investigations that we have done before it even goes to court, including the Northern Development Authority case, it was published. Now, what we have said is that on this matter, we terminated it because we realized that it was in the region of money laundering and transferred it to you. We also accompanied it with what we call a cover letter, which explains why we think it should be money laundering. Now, why do you need a corruption investigative report? Because as they've been able to go to our website and quote exactly what we said on our website, it's the same thing we have said. But what matters, which I want Ghanaians to pay attention to, is the fact that we did not give Yoko an empty docket.
But if you did not give them, why? Because I'm looking at the letter that was given you on 1st February. The 4th paragraph says, we would appreciate it if you could furnish us with a copy of your findings on the case to facilitate our investigations. What this means is that you did not give them the information. And again, it continues. The last paragraph says, in furtherance of the investigations, kindly provide us with the name and contact details of focal person or persons at the OS. Hold on, let me land. I mean, to enable our investigators contact them on matters relating to the referral case.
To the beginning, which is that when they say your focal person, they have even acknowledged the focal person in their letter. The focal person being our director for strategy, our director for investigation.
So you give them the name and contact of a focal person. How about the paragraph that's okay? What about the paragraph that says you should furnish them with a copy of your findings? What was your response to them about that?
What they claiming and attributing to me is that they said that they requested for an FBI finding. I'm stating it here again. The letter they gave you and they've shared to you and they've given to all the other journalists, and tonight we are going to see another round of insults and all that, is that they are requesting for our corruption investigative report. They are not requesting for an FBI report. Yoko does not investigate corruption. Yoko investigates money laundering and other economic crimes. What we have given them is enough basis for them to do their investigation. We gave Yoko every document, including statements from suspects that we had interrogated, which is enough for them to find a predicate offense, and in addition, be able to do unexplained wealth demand under Section 1.3 of the Anti-Money Laundering Act. They shouldn't bring all these issues that because they did not come. I gave a typical example in the morning. When we began this investigation, the first docket we needed was the docket by the police service on the arrest of the house help of Madame Cecilia Dapa. As we speak to you, we never had that particular docket. But OSP did not even rest. OSP went further and even went to search the homes and discovered more things. We have done all these and done extensive work and send the extensive work to you. And we have said that extensive work is enough for you to do your independent investigation. I am asking again, when Iyoko decided to investigate the allegation that was given to them by Ministry of Transport, did they write to Attorney General to request for advice on whether they should look into a matter which did not even fall under their jurisdiction?
But
we are still doing something that investigates.
But I mean, if you're
going back to the angle that there was no investigative report, and so because of that you couldn't investigate. The raw materials needed to do investigation.
Okay,
now Iyoko has been transferring dockets to us. Ask them, now that they've been able to share to you, maybe we should also be sharing the dockets that they've been referring to us.
Which is actually what I'm coming to. You see, they have put out the letter they sent to you on 1st February communicating. Hold on, no, the letter is a record. The letter is a record I can refer to. They said in that letter. No, hold on. It does establish that they have established. Hold on, Mrs. Amida. This letter does not say FBI report. The letter, and I can read the paragraphs again.
They have said that I said that they did not request for the FBI report, and I'm stating on authority again as the Director for Strategy, Research and Communication They can choose to call me one director or whatever. I'm stating on record again that Iyoko never requested for the FBI report.
No problem.
And their own documentation has proven to the whole world that they never did.
Okay, but their letter,
report.
In fact, you see, I want us to restrict ourselves to this document here. The letter of 1st February. The letter of 1st February does not mention the word corruption. I have not seen it on any part of the letter. It simply says you should give them more information. They use the phrase further information. Then 2, they say they've acknowledged your docket and that they have commenced investigations. They also say that they would appreciate you if you furnish them with a copy of your findings on the case to facilitate their investigations. 1 second though. And they say in their letter of today, or their press release of today, that that letter was received by your field desk officer named Solomon Tete, but as we speak, you are yet to provide that information. And that's important. Can you show us the public letter you used to respond to this 1st February letter from the Iyoko asking you for further information? Because they have said that this is the request we made, they have not honored it. Do you have a contrary information that you honored this information, or you wrote to them saying there's nothing to send to them?
Again, I will go back and say that there is nothing here. Iyoko, we had a standing committee. Every information that we had that we needed to give to Iyoko, the OSP gave to Iyoko. And I've told you what you need.
And did you write to them to respond to this letter to say, we gave you everything, so we are surprised you are sending us this letter?
Standing committee that have been working between OSP and Iyoko. There are unofficial communications between OSP and Iyoko. What I'm trying to tell you is that Iyoko says they want the findings of our work on corruption. You will say that it's not on corruption, but OSP really does corruption. And I'm saying that you don't need the findings of us because every finding that you need has already been put in a file.
But I mean, if you only
request for specific information,
but if you
request for specific information,
okay. if you only do work,
you are referring to our corruption investigative reports that we usually write.
But that would be an unfair presumption, because if you did not do work outside corruption, you wouldn't have known that what Cecilia Dapa engaged in was money laundering, for which reason you thought that Iyoko should do that. So clearly you have some findings that point to money laundering, for which reason you asked Iyoko to investigate, and they're asking to give us that particular information, which information I'm not supplying.
I'm saying to you that all that information was provided to Iyoko. What Iyoko needs to be able to do his work, we gave to Iyoko. Okay. Is that we gave Iyoko every information that is needed to trigger an investigation.
Great. Did you reply their letter? Did you reply their letter?
We were not going to do a money laundering investigation and write that report for them. What we do is corruption report, and if we had finished a corruption report on Cecilia Dapa, we would have published that corruption report for Cecilia Dapa. You cannot say that you need a finding from us on corruption, and then the same way I told you that reconcile what Iyoko is saying with what the Attorney General also said, which is the same thing they are repeating here, that because there was no findings to them. How do you say there was no findings to you when we have given you the basic material that you need to do investigation?
Okay, I
want do for you.
Okay,
as a whistleblower that would have brought you the information.
I want a straight answer to this question. Did you reply the 1st February letter from the Iyoko or not?
It's not an issue about whether we reply the first letter or not. I've just
did your office reply?
I've just told you that there are unofficial communications, and there was a standing committee that was exchanging information. That is the director of investigation and the deputy director at Iyoko. They were exchanging information. That's the standing committee. So you read the letter. The first letter of them says that you appreciate to give you a contact person. It should tell you that has already been done, because now they say that they came to the contact person, and the contact person said that he was going to reach out to the SP and get back to them, because you are requesting for something that may be an internal report, which is that our findings or maybe on corruption. But what we have brought to you is a whole docket on all that we discovered that border on money laundering.
Okay.
Then we think that you can go into it and get predicate offense and then be able to do your work.
All right.
And that we have supplied to
Yoko.
Finally.
And back and forth is not going to help any Ghanaian. And this attempt to want to insulate and attack personality is most unfortunate. It's the debasing thing we can ever do, which is that you want to attack another officer of an institution. When you were going around talking, when you were going around issuing things that were inaccurate, you didn't think that could be corrected.
Okay. Finally.
We have just got to correct it.
Finally.
We have not got to put anybody in any bad light.
Okay. Finally, we have on authority that the docket you sent to the IOCO was the original docket and not a copy of the docket that you sent to IOCO. We have been again told that that is not something, a normal practice in the investigative world, and that you should have kept the original and sent a copy to your colleague institution, and that you sending the original meant you have completely washed your hands off the case. And yet you are also saying again that you are always open to further investigation in the matter. Can you explain to us why you decided to send them the original and not the photocopy?
This is very interesting. Now, the argument has been debated to the extent that we are talking about whether we give them the original or not. What is wrong with giving you an original docket? Or is it your understanding that because you have seen an original docket, it means that the OSP is without any receipt? And have you not returned the original docket to the OSP? Is it lost? If it's not a standard practice, and we have decided to give you an original docket, how is this even an issue? How does this help the people of Ghana? That we are supposed to collaborate, we are supposed to work together, we are supposed to feed each other with information. That information is supposed to be worked on. If you feel that information, you cannot work with it, yes, you come back and say you cannot work with it. You could have contacted us again and say that, okay, I think that I cannot work on this if I don't see your corruption investigative report or whatever. Those things could have been done. But now to the basic, to the level of even telling journalists that they should ask us as to why did we bring the original docket?
But that presupposes that you have closed your or washed your hands. But I'm saying that you have also said you plan to go back to it. So what did you?
No, I've not said we plan to go back to it. Sandra, what I've said is that there is nothing like an end to a criminal investigation. If new facts come to us that ground us to be able to go into the matter, we can go into the matter. That is what it means. And this is not an issue that can be used to debate the whole argument. The argument is whether the information provided to Yoko was sufficient enough to warrant Yoko to do its own independent investigation and be able to now send its independent investigation to the Office of the Attorney General for the Office of the Attorney General to advise on whether they want them to prosecute or not. That is the crux of the matter. Did OSP provide you with sufficient information to enable you? If you say no, fair enough.
Very well. Finally, sorry, I've said finally already, but now that you have the docket back to your table, what are you going to do? Now that your collaborator or your co-investigator said they are not interested, what are you going to do with this docket? You just maybe shelve it somewhere and say good night?
I think we are going back to the same matter, which we have already said that there is nothing like an end to criminal investigation.
I know, but at least for now, based on everything you said, it's supposed to be money laundering.
I do not have instruction on what immediately will be done. However, what I do know is that anytime there is development on a case, it can be reopened.
But for now, prosecution rests.
This is not an OSP Yoko AG matter. This is about the people of Ghana getting to know what really happened and wanting to know a solution to the matter. We have investigated and we came to the conclusion that the things that we were seeing fell largely in the province of money laundering. If the person with jurisdiction over money laundering says that they don't think that it falls under their mandate, fair enough.
So for now,
it is not every case that you go into it that you may get to a conclusion. Some cases take years.
What if a cynic and a critic says, "Shame on you, OSP! You wasted space and years and time, and after 7 months you returned no verdict at all, and now there are tomatoes or eggs in your face. What would you say to that? And Cecilia's friends come to your office and claps in your face and says, "Oh," to you.
Only the uninitiated may think that way, because as I told you, investigations sometimes take years. We spent 7 months. It's not that long, and the 7 months we spent, we've been able to establish a number of things which are facts. You cannot take it away. The fact that our investigation does not result in prosecution is not a waste of the taxpayers' money. It means that the institutions tasked with the job of anti-corruption are working, they are alive and looking into matters. If it turns out that they are unable to prosecute, it does not mean they have wasted the taxpayers' money.
Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you, too.
That's Samuel Apia Daku. He is the Director of Strategy, Research and Communications at the Office of Special Prosecutor. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We're broadcasting from Adabraka in Accra. My name is Umaru Sandamado. I'm here with Akosua Otri. When we come back, we hear from President Akufo-Addo. He's warning Ghanaians that if they give the chance to John Mahama again, John Mahama would come and destroy his legacy. We'll be hearing from him. Plus, the EC started its registration exercise today, and it was fraught with lots of technical challenges. We'll be hearing from our reporters who've been covering the registration center. Stay with us.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
There are some classy celebrations that call for whipping out your favorite China sets. Same goes for your luxury vehicle. Just any engine oil won't do. Premium understands premium best. The new Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP with carbon neutral properties is the one for your premium car. It's a fully synthetic motor oil designed using the Shell Pure Plus technology. Prevents dirt buildup with exceptional cleaning power, leaving your pistons cleaner than a whistle, up to 50% more than the industry standard, and gives you stronger, long-lasting engine performance. So, if you want your classic car to run smoothly like a Ferrari for years to come, use the Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP with carbon neutral properties. Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP, designed for ultimate engine performance.
Ghana must grow.
KB, aka Kubeboga, now drives a Bugatti. He can even travel by road from Accra to London. Wow! KB's source of wealth is agriculture. Yes, coconut business. After losing his bank job, he started supplying coconuts at events. Now, he owns large coconut plantations and employs many young people. Charlie, we all need to trust the process, because hope days.
There has never been a better time to enter into agribusiness. Take a bold step today with the Ghana Grows program, because every step pays. Ejuma Wokrom, Ghana Grows, Hope Day, an initiative of the MasterCard Foundation in partnership with Springboard Roadshow Foundation and Limehouse.
The other day, I visited Kweku at his spunky new office to congratulate him on opening his business. And man, was I impressed. The business is just moving quick. The sales, customers, everything is just working seamlessly. The secret? He said,
it's MTN Business Broadband. In this fast-paced environment, we need fast and reliable internet to support all business types. No laggy online meetings, great download and upload speeds, impeccable business management systems, all inclusive. I mean, you can have it all.
Sharp! I signed on immediately.
To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244 308 111 for more information. We are good together everywhere you go.
You know, Papa, see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa! Bobo, so how your engine now?
It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Cause and you can feel better energy.
Can't touch this.
Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that? Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched.
Sancho Panza.
Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz?
No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer.
Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency.
Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry.
Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
In a world where only the best survives, you need a fuel that can match your drive. A fuel with unparalleled protection for your engine, superior efficiency, and unrivaled performance. A fuel so unbeatable, when you get behind the wheel, you'll focus on what really matters. The journey ahead. That fuel is Shell V-Power, because no other fuel gives your engine better protection, better efficiency, and better performance. Be unbeatable. Drive unbeatable. Shell V-Power. Shell, go well.
KB, aka Kubeboga, now drives a Bugatti. He can even travel by road from Accra to London. Wow! KB's source of wealth is agriculture. Yes, coconut business. After losing his bank job, he started supplying coconuts at events. Now, he owns large coconut plantations and employs many young people. Charlie, we all need to trust the process, cause hope days.
There has never been a better time to enter into agribusiness. Take a bold step today with the Ghana Grows program, because every step pays. Ejuma Wokrom, Ghana Grows, Hope Day, an initiative of the MasterCard Foundation in partnership with Springboard Roadshow Foundation and Limehouse.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
You're welcome back. Now, day one of the 21-day limited voter registration exercise was fraught with frustrations as the Electoral Commission grapples with network issues in parts of the country. Well, at the Achimota District Court for the Okankwe North and Okankwe South, constituencies in Accra, despite commencing the exercise at 7 a.m. with a significant turnout, the registration process was hampered by network connectivity challenges. Or prospective voters interviewed by Citi News expressed their disappointment and frustration with the situation.
The process has been cool, but not really cool, because I came here, we got here around 5:50 a.m. and we had to go register, and since then we've been waiting, thinking that by now it would have been done, because from 5:50 a.m. to this time is a vast hour, so we should have been done by now, but they are giving us excuses that there is a problem or something that they had to rectify.
I was here by 7 o'clock in the morning. Up to now, I'm not feeling well, but I say I will get my voter's ID card. Up to now, they say network is not working, so I have to go home and relax and take my medicine. Maybe if they continue up to tomorrow, I'll be back.
Is it worrying that you are facing this challenge? Is it what you were expecting?
I'm expecting that maybe they can do, or they can call different people with a machine to come for network, but nobody is coming. Only the old machine is here. So I'm not feeling well, so I have to take my medicine and relax more.
But when you were coming here, were you expecting to leave here earlier than this time? That you've still not got
I'm expecting to leave here maybe by 10, 11, I can leave. But now, so I have to leave. I'm hungry too.
You heard prospective voters voicing their disappointment with the ongoing network connectivity challenges during the limited voter registration. Well, let's go to Bimbilla in the northern region, where the registration process came to a halt following similar technical challenges encountered in other parts of the country. Or the registration kit was unable to print cards for new registrants. Joseph Kodia is the municipal EC officer in Bimbilla.
We've set up our registration teams. Everything is in place. Unfortunately, team of a card, and what my technician tells me, it's a network problem or technical problem. And per their platform, nobody has been able to print any card yet. And our platform, to the same thing, we have also realized that nobody has been able to print a card. And so from all indications, it looks like it's a nationwide issue.
So this problem or this challenge is not peculiar to Bimbilla.
It's not peculiar to Bimbilla from what I'm gathering. And so we just have to wait and see how things will be done.
So it means since morning you've not been able to print even a single card.
Exactly so. That is it. We've not been able to print a card. I believe they are working tirelessly to get this resolved. And once it is done, we shall proceed.
That was Joseph Kodia. He is the municipal EC officer in Bimbilla in the northern region.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. City Business News. Be informed.
Time now for City Business News on Eyewitness News, brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan. Make that big move and dream a reality. My name is Akosia Ocho. Let's settle for details of our stories now. The banking public is to disregard widespread reports suggesting a 1% cybersecurity levy on all banking transactions. It comes as social media portals are announcing the levy rollout, citing the Bank of Ghana as the implementer of the policy. Or the report claims that the cybersecurity levy on all banking transactions is due to increase in cybersecurity threats, both locally.
Improvements compared to the same period last year, including the bank's capital adequacy ratio, which increased from 14 to 18%. Despite this favorable outlook, there were some downsides, however, in Société Générale's key banking performance indicators. For example, the bank's non-performing loan ratio saw a rise of 8% from the 14% recorded last year to 22% recorded this year. For its leverage ratio, which measures debt to equity, it went up to 10% from 6%. More importantly, the liquidity ratio fell marginally from 111 to 106%. What do these mean? The bank is exposed to the following risks: credit, liquidity, interest rate, markets, among other elevated operational risks. But the bank is managing these inherent challenges since they are critical to its continuous profitability.
That was Neil Latte from the City Business Desk, bringing us that news desk report. Now, more multinational companies in the country will have to fold up due to the current tax regime crippling their survival. Or that's the warning by the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, FABAG. Or the association has reiterated its call for government to realign the excessive taxes slapped on businesses, which have become burdensome for foreign-led businesses to thrive. Well, reacting to why some multinationals are leaving the country, Executive Chairman for FABAG, John Awuni, called for immediate measures to stem the trend.
Your business is run at a loss due to no fault of yours, and then you post your accounts as loss, and they now calculate and tell you that you must pay taxes on the losses. Where is this then done at all? It is quite annoying. So at the end of the day, it's better for you to exit than for you to sit down, or you may even have to just cook the accounts and say that you have made a profit, yet you have made no profit, because it says that you cannot continue running at a loss. Which business wants to continue to post losses? But a tax like that was made by the government, and they are put in there the growth and sustainability tax. This year, like this GRA, they've had a couple of meetings and all, and they have won all their offices. Any business that have they've noticed that have posted accounts in loss for the past 5 years, they must calculate all the monies and then let them pay 5% loss that they say they have made. The Ghanaian economy will suffer more because many businesses still want to leave. SG, the Jumia, the Global, and all that have left are not the only companies, and they need to relook at the tax.
That was Executive Chairman of the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, John Awini. Now, amidst the increase in prices of food products in local markets, coupled with recent hikes in fuel prices, there is a growing concern that these factors may exacerbate the inflation rate, which currently stands at 25.8%. Or tomorrow, the government statistician is expected to announce the inflation data for April 2024. Economist Dr. Patrick Isumi is urging the government to escalate critical interventions aimed at tackling high food inflation.
For a long time, food inflation has led the way. It just tells you that we need more interventions for the food sector. And when you begin to look at the items, I think there are some staple items that are seeing high price increases, which is troubling. If you look at the vegetables, tubers, and related items, that class, which carries a lot of weight, almost 10% of the basket, so 41% increment. That's quite troubling. So I think that it's most of the interventions around that should center on food production, on agriculture sector. But we also have to understand, even when we look at the regional breakdown, even some of our food baskets are seeing high inflation. You see that Eastern region top the charts again, or Eastern region top the chart for food inflation, which is quite baffling. But it might explain the fact that even when production is high, there are problems getting the food into the main center. So we need investments in agriculture, including trying to solve the problem of food distribution.
Economist Dr. Patrick Isumi speaking there. Now, the General Agricultural Workers Union, GAU, has declared its firm opposition to attempts to introduce genetically modified organisms, commonly referred to as GMOs, into the agricultural sector of the country. Or despite initial legal setbacks, including the dismissal of an interlocutory injunction filed by the the Food Sovereignty Ghana and others against the National Biosafety Authority concerning the approval granted for the registration of 14 GMO crops for food, feed and processing in Ghana, GAU remains optimistic about achieving a favorable legal outcome. In an interview with Citi Business News, Edward Kariwe, the General Secretary of GAU, stressed the need for all stakeholders to safeguard the agricultural sector.
We did not start with court action until this time now. We started by advocating and trying to appeal to the conscience of our duty bearers, public officials, and then government institutions to appreciate that the moving in the direction of GMO is not healthy for this country. It is through that agitation that the Minister of Agriculture consistently distanced itself from the promotion of GMO. So we will continue with those other strategies, and I think that even if we lose in this particular case, we are not going to lose in the long run. Well, there are different battles that we are fighting, but we are fighting to win the war. If we lose a minor battle, yet we can win all the other battles and then eventually win the war against the introduction of GMO, we'll be very happy.
That was the voice of Edward Kariwe, who is the General Secretary of the Ghana Agricultural Workers Union. Well, that's it for Citi Business News. On Eyewitness News, it was brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan. Make that big move and dream a reality. I am Akusia Ochre. Up next is Point Blank.
City 97.3. More variety.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the whole family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
Are you a builder, contractor, or homeowner with a passion for quality? Look no further. At Yale, we pride ourselves in trusted security and quality hardware for doors. Visit our showroom on 11th Lane Street in Accra, Ghana, and discover the world of Yale door hardware handles and locks. At Yale, we understand your need for security and the desire for elegance. Our products not only protect your loved ones, but also add a touch of sophistication to your home or business. Whether you're renovating your space or crafting a new masterpiece, Yale is your trusted partner with a history of 180 years of innovation. Come on down to Yale today. Experience the perfect blend of security and style with Yale. Yale, where security meets style.
You know, Papa, see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa! Papa! Oh, Bobo, so how's your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Quartz and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that? Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panzapa. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry, Chairman Mane. Chairman, hey, Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Bobo himself here, Baba Twaba. Yeah, Baba Twaba. Now, registration, I shall say, Ubia all register here. Utumi register, no Mr. Momokola Mokotoso. Ma register the now. Sanet here. So, Wabano, and a trail Utumi, a Wagana. Now, face a brand dua. A brand dua. Yajumaya no, a chia, and your day. Onipa, the body the two no Wakunyano sono. I be BBA, may and so any no fair. Need to meet Jamachi and Mo Ubisa. Be a my own the same. And say, Nebaba Sermo. Only upon my year, Juma. You feel 7.5 years in me. I'm a what did you say when you move? I'm a himself, but to me, I'm a Juma so. I'm a winner home for so. The friend of Mahamadou Baumia.
So that's President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He was addressing NPP supporters at a mini rally in Dobro in the Greater Accra region. after visiting the Blue Skies Company Limited. Today, he's essentially saying to Ghanaians not to entrust the presidency with John Mahama again. This has angered many NDC supporters. One of them, the member of parliament for Ododo Diodio, former deputy minister. In fact, he was minister and then also deputy minister. The Honorable Edwin Ni Lante Vanderpool. He's joined us on the line. Honorable, you are welcome to Eyewitness News.
Well, thank you very much, Moro.
The president says that he removed your boss from the presidency and that whatever he does will not impress former President John Mahama. But he is assuring Ghanaians that the best person that should lead after him should be Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and not the person that he came to replace. You are not happy with this statement?
Thank you very much, and let me say good evening to all your listeners. You know, for some time now, because of the way this MPP regime has managed the country, I've become very sad and apologetic as a politician. But today it's even worse. Because I don't know how a politician in this country, like Nanado, take Ghanaians for, you know, I don't know how we think about Ghanaians. Do we think about them as just some zombies, people who cannot think for themselves, that people who cannot decipher their own situations and make judgments? Do we always have to look down on people and the citizens because they vote for us, because we think we can lie to them and say all the things, all the lies, and still get them to vote for us? Is that what he's talking about? That because they did that in 2016? Look, if I were Nanado, the best thing I would do as a person is to apologize to the millions of Ghanaians who voted for me and who I have hugely disappointed. Nanado will go into history as the worst president ever in the Fourth Republic of this country. Ever. Worst president ever. Because, let me say this, what legacy is he talking about? He's the most corrupt president in our history. He is the one who has collapsed our economy. Ghana's economy today is worse than any time in our history. Is that a legacy he's talking about? Of course. John Mahama will come and correct all the... Who is coming to correct it? You think the person should not come to... Look, the only reason why Nanado is saying this is not because of his useless legacy of corruption, nepotism, squander, squalor, thievery, wanton grabbing of assets, state capture, and the worst part of it is arrogance and disrespect to our traditional authorities and the ordinary Ghanaian. They are wanton dissipation of our environment through their unbridled interest in galamsey, the distraction of our state institutions, destroying, politicizing the public service, politicizing the civil service, politicizing the security services, politicizing the judiciary, destroying what makes Ghana the envy of other democracies. That is the legacy he wants his co-useless mate to come and defend. No. Ghanaians will want somebody to come, prosecute his people who are corrupt, the thievery, the land grabbing, the dissipation of our environment, destroying our environment for galamsey. Those are the things Ghanaians are looking for. The youth of this country are looking for somebody who will come and change that legacy he has left of joblessness, youth unemployment, hopelessness, destruction of our educational system. That today, Ghanaians do not know when the child is going to school and when the child is coming home. We do not even know whether our children are in basic school or in secondary school because we are running shift in the second cycle institution.
But he brought you free SHS. That's a legacy you would come and destroy.
Free SHS of shift. The shift system, free SHS. Is that what you're talking about?
Better educated and the shift system than no education, no?
The free SHS that the Edu Watch is saying parents are bearing close to 63% of the cost of education. The government is only taking care of 34%, only 34%. Is that the free SHS talking about? Is that education, the legacy you want to live at? I want my children to go to a school where I know that they go to school tomorrow, they will come back in 3 months' time, that I can budget. But not the same when my child goes to school, there's only 2 weeks, he's back home, and I don't know when he will come and stay home for another 1 year before going back to school. Is that the legacy he's talking about? As for this legacy, Ghanaians are ashamed of it. And Ghanaians will not want this legacy to remain. Ghanaians will vote for a change so that somebody will come, erase this horrifying and very disgraceful legacy from our history.
Let me go to the other line because your colleague has called in. He's not happy with some of the things you're saying. So I indulge you kindly to stay on the line and listen. The Honorable Andrew Ejapa Mensah is MP for Sekondi, Minister Designate for Tourism.
You expect him to be happy? When he's enjoying Nana Akufo-Addo.
He's not enjoying. He's not enjoying. You have refused to approve him as a minister, so he's not enjoying. He has left his old ministry. He's hanging in the middle. He's like a dead man who has not been given coins to cross the river. You've not been fair to him. Your own brother.
That's part of the legacy. That's part of the legacy.
Let me introduce him. Honorable Ejapa Mensah, you're welcome to Eyewitness News. What's your issue?
For indulging. I had no desire of necessarily responding to all these matters that our friends spew on radio. But it's important to set the record straight sometimes because it's offensive to hear the kind of comments that come from our friends, the NDC sometimes. I will ignore the comment about enjoying because I'm not so sure whether when he was Deputy Minister in the government of Professor Adam Mills and Mr. Mahama, he was there because he was enjoying, and that he is seeking for Ghanaians to vote for his preferred candidate, so he comes and enjoys. Okay, that kind of language in our politicking, I always advise them to move away from it because it doesn't help the political discourse in any way. Yes, I'm working as a Deputy Minister and a Minister Designate for Tourism, Arts and Culture, and it is an expectation that Ghana would pay my remuneration for the services that I'm rendering to the country. If that is enjoyment, I don't know what really my good friend Milante is seeking to demonstrate. But to the substantive point about what His Excellency the President spoke to, that he is responding and making it look as if to say there's nothing good that this government has done. You referenced the free senior high school policy, which is not the only policy that this government has introduced. One district, one factory that is intended to industrialize our country. Yes, of course, it's not an event. So I do not expect that it would have achieved 100% industrialization of the entire country by 2024 December when he's leaving office. The process that has started. It is an expectation that as Parliament provides them with the support by way of tax exemptions and all that, that their side is refusing to approve. Many more private sector people will respond and set up more factories to accommodate the youth who are leaving schools. Okay. Now, it's not surprising because they believe that, consistent with the Mr. Mahama narrative, that we all have short memories. All of a sudden, we've forgotten the maladministration that he's put us through over the 4-year period that he served as president. We slept in darkness for 4 years. He says Akufo-Addo is corrupt. Mr. Mahama is the one who submitted his brother's name to a global conglomerate to be used as a conduit for the payment of bribes in the Airbus transaction. Has any president of this country ever gone through any such transaction before? Mr. Mahama is the one who, on the 29th of December, 8 days before he left office, signed off our bauxite deposits in 3 leases to his brother. He's talking of what? He's talking of what? We know their track record. Okay? So let it not be said that what President Akufo-Addo said, he was wrong. He was right. Ghanaians have tried and tested Mr. Mahama. They know what he delivered as a president. And they know that but for the global pandemic, our economy would not have deteriorated to these levels. Indeed, and in fact, His Excellency the President told us in June, July of 2020 that, look, because of this pandemic that we all don't know where it's going to lead us as a country, but as a world, I am prepared to sacrifice economic indicators to protect Ghanaian lives and livelihoods. It would come at the expense of the economy, but that we know how to fix. Obviously, there's not the expectation that fixing the economy will take one budget cycle. It's a process which has led to huge challenges for us as a country. But thankfully, we feel like at the end of the tunnel. So Ghanaians, the discerning people of this country, know the truth and the fact about who, when you had the opportunity without any pandemic, without any global crisis, kept us in darkness for 4 years and took us to IMF. Yes, we've gone under Akufo-Addo government, but we all know the reason why we went there. So let Mr. Neil Ante and his like, okay, take it easy, because we'll deal with the issues. But we will not allow them to hoodwink Ghanaians like they did in 2008 with lies, to the point where when Ghanaians believed them and voted for them to come into power, they turn around to tell us that it was a mere political talk. It's not going to happen this time around.
Okay. I've seen lots of people commenting on social media in response to this statement by the president that Ghanaians should not vote for John Mahama because he'll come and ruin his legacy. And they keep asking the question, what legacy? Can you list some of the key things for those who may be wondering what legacy there is for Akufo-Addo to leave behind? So John Mahama will tell you he left behind infrastructure projects. He will tell you he left Dubai in circle. 1 second, I'm going to let you say that. So he will tell you he left Dubai in circle. He left the Bank Hospital. He left the East Hospital. He left the number of infrastructure that they keep repeating. What are the things that you would mention?
Many of the health infrastructure projects were either started by President Kufuor, that President Mills could not complete, that Mr. Mahama came to complete. Many of the projects that Mr. Mahama completed were projects that were started by President Mills that they came to complete. Many of the road projects that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has initiated, it's all over the place. You know it, I know it. Indeed and in fact, members of parliament who complain that Akufo-Addo has contracted loans with nothing to show for. Sometimes I wonder whether they read the documents that they themselves approve. Because every single debt that Akufo-Addo has contracted is meant for a specific project. The fact that some of them have not been completed doesn't mean that the monies have been wasted. Yeah, look, I can't even begin to count them. Why? Akufo-Addo is not doing road projects in this country. You don't see it. He's not building hospitals. The nephrology and urology center is going to be commissioned in a few days. Efian Kwanta Government Hospital is being redeveloped. Eastern Regional Hospital is being redeveloped. The maternity block in Convernation Teaching Hospital is not being done. Our schools not being built on a day-by-day basis. Our roads not being constructed. Our hospitals not being built. They're interchanged across the country. You don't know it. And so let's not be fooled by the talk that Akufo-Addo has no legacy.
Okay.
Plus the social intervention programs that he's initiated. You don't have a record of them. Umaru, you are not aware.
Oh, if you ask me to answer,
apologists on social media ask questions for you to relay them to me.
Very well.
Because we all live in this country. We all know that in the 111 projects that are ongoing, they are all Akufo-Addo legacy. In fact, the free senior high school policy, huge, one district, one factory. Come on. Is there even a comparison between us and Mr. Mahama? They talk of UGMC. Check when Professor Mills stood for the commencement of the work on UGMC. So Mr. Mills, when he became president, he didn't do anything. He left no legacy for the good people of this country, who made him president for 4 years. everything is Mr. Mahama?
Is
that what you are telling us?
Very well. Please hold.
That the founding president never left any legacy for Ghana?
Please hold the line.
You talk of corruption?
Honorable
Check their record.
Honorable Nilante Van Der Poel, he has listed projects that are the legacies of Akufo-Addo that they are leaving behind, which legacies they do not want to ruin. They don't want you to come and ruin. Just in a minute or so, if you could just respond so we can end this conversation.
Which legacy is he talking about? Which legacy? Let me tell him. He just led the Ministry of Energy. The gas infrastructure, which today is helping us have a dependable energy. The gas infrastructure, who built it? Who built that gas infrastructure? That he's been privileged to be a thing in his platform. You won't respond. Keep quiet. Keep quiet and let me talk. When you were talking, I was quiet. Keep quiet and let me talk.
Honorable Nilante, you are the only one being heard. You are the only one being heard.
My junior.
No, you are the only one being heard. So kindly ignore everything that.
Let me tell him this. Let me tell him this. We can point to the legacies left, and that is testament to the whole country. Everybody will testify to it. What Abdullah, he's talking about one district, one factory. He should name one district, one factory that they themselves started and finished. I'm in Parliament, and I know the tax exemptions that have been given to all these one district, one factory companies that have existed in history. Some of them 10 years, 20 years, 30 years ago. Is this is it that he's talking about? Is it their legacy? Professor Mills and Jomama's time, we gave incentive to industry. The pharmaceutical industry, the poultry industry, and so many other areas. We didn't make noise about it. And we didn't say we're doing one district, one factory with those things. What did you talk about? Agenda 111. When? Where? Umaru, I've just come from La. Go and see. After the skirmishes there, go and see what is happening there. Nothing. Agenda 111. Why are they doing Agenda 111? Those things that are in the bush somewhere, they go and clear bush, pay money to people. And look, all those corrupt acts will be revealed. They are legacy of corruption. I can't say upon who are in the holy thing. Ghanaians will really feel and see what it is like to have lived under the most corrupt regime ever in this country. He's talking about Jamama. What? Look, they've been in office for 7 years. If Jamama was involved in anything like that, why have they not prosecuted him? They should have been powerful enough to prosecute him if they have evidence against him.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me conclude. That's Honorable Nilante Van Der Poel, MP for Ododo Diodio. Honorable Ejapa Mensah, one of the key things you mentioned there is Agenda 111. You promised to deliver those hospitals within 1 year. COVID has long gone. We are almost in the third or fourth year. We don't have the projects. It will be fair to say that you have failed already, haven't you?
Yes, you have commitment, you have intention. Circumstances may enable you execute all of them within a certain time frame that you intend to execute, or it may delay. But the fact still remains that these projects are ongoing. True or false?
I don't know. I haven't done a check.
Oh, so you don't know the performance tracker and the list of Agenda 111 locations across the country. In fact, my own Ifeanyi Kwanta Regional Hospital is being redeveloped.
Is it part of Agenda 111?
Of course. Agenda 111 is district hospitals plus regional regions that do not have regional hospitals.
The hospital you mentioned now, the one in your constituency or region, is Agenda 1. What's the percentage of completion?
It's about 70% complete.
Which means it will be finished before December 7.
It's likely to be finished, or it may go into next year.
But then that becomes a problem, because when the promise was made, you see, we judge your delivery against your.
I don't have a problem. Look, thankfully, you guys operate in a space. Okay. Nilante, look, can you allow me to speak? When I attempted to come in,
actually, I have signed him. I've signed Nilante off, so please ignore him and then conclude. Because we have to go.
See,
yes, go ahead.
You operate in a space where Imani, that's an assessment of manifesto commitments called a manifesto. And it has been established that over the past political cycles, no political party in this country has been able to achieve all their manifesto commitments 100%. True or false? So it's neither here nor there whether it's been complete. I'm saying that it is a matter of fact that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's government is building hospitals across districts in Ghana that do not have hospitals.
Very well.
At various stages of completion.
Very well. Thank you.
Now, second issue that he raises, please, it's important that I mentioned gas infrastructure that they said. It was during President Kufuor's era when we discovered oil in commercial quantities that they described as a jungle. You remember that President Kufuor negotiated with the Jubilee partners for a 200 billion gas foundation gas volume for free. Necessarily, we need to put in place a gas processing infrastructure to process the gas. In fact, President Kufuor contracted the Trinidadians to start the construction of the gas infrastructure facility. And just before they were about to start, we lost power and they came in government. They terminated that agreement and proceeded subsequently to go and borrow money from China to do it. So let it never be said that it was some vision that was articulated by the NDC that led to the gas infrastructure project. Because the fact of the matter is that if President Kufuor had not negotiated the foundation volume gas, which only was exhausted last year, that facility would never have been built.
Very well.
What did they do when they had the opportunity to develop the ENI show? You want to go there? You want to go there? Again, is it not laughable? Please, is it not laughable that the NDC will turn around and say that some of the existing companies that are benefiting from agenda one district, one faction is problematic for them? Yet these same people turn around and say that Akufo-Addo is not supporting Ghanaian industry for companies to collapse. How does these two sentences exist in the same milieu?
We have to
look. The policy is very clear.
Very well. We have to end it on
very clear policy. It was never the intention of government to set up state-owned enterprises, because we've been there before, and all those enterprises were sold by the NDC predecessor government.
Let's leave it here. Thank you so much for speaking to us. That's Honorable Andre Japamens. I've had a few more questions for him. Unfortunately, time will not let us. He's Member of Parliament for Sekendi. He is a Minister Designate for Tourism, Arts and Culture. He's yet to be approved by Parliament and to be sworn in by the President. Earlier, you heard Honorable Edwin Neil Ante Vanderpoy, NDC MP for Ododo Diodio. My name is Umar.